Welcome to Relics Radio, your favorite weekly podcast dedicated to the metal detecting and treasure hunting community. Here are your hosts, Ken from Adventures in Dirt and Tony from 5280 Adventures.
Hey, Relics Radio, Wednesday night. DK here from Adventures in Dirt. Welcome, everyone. Wednesday night. Bring in my co-host here. You know him as... 5280 Adventures. Tony. Hey, put the drink down, bud. It's showtime. Turn your mic on, too. I can't hear you.
Damn it. I got to do it again then.
See, because he's drinking.
Cheers.
I wonder what that would sound like with that high-pitched voice you're showing.
We'll mess around with that later.
How are you, man?
I'm great. Another Wednesday night. Love Relics Radio Wednesday nights.
Yep.
Happy to be back with you and get to talk about a whole bunch of different stuff. We've had a busy week, number one. But we missed last week. Yeah, we missed last week. So we got 2 weeks worth of information to kind of talk about and get out there. We've been busy. I don't
know if they can handle all that kind of information.
We've had a lot to do, and we're right into the springtime. So Colorado, it's like hit or miss, man. I know a couple weeks ago we got a snowstorm, and then we've had some rain. Then we'll have 80-degree days. So it's hit or miss out here in Colorado. So we're right getting into when we should be out detecting. So we've got a lot of information to relay and talk about.
Yeah, we do. Boy, my yard's in sad shape too. It's just calling my name like, please come out here and get us in shape.
Yep.
My wife and I are big sort of gardeners and stuff, and we've hit the ground running. We've kind of been able to get out and do some detecting. There's always kind of been all these events going on the weekend. And it's like, man, this weekend I got to give some love to that yard for sure.
I can't wait to see what you get this year. Last year you absolutely killed it, man. You were posting pictures of your garden and all the hard work coming out of it, and I'm ready to see. You're going to improve every single year. You're going to learn what you can't do, and what the direction you want to go. So I'm anxious. What are you? You got a game plan already set up, or what?
Well, the standards. We always have the standards one. Last year we discovered purple Cherokee tomatoes, which I'd never had before. Those are absolutely amazing. But every year we swat, you always are supposed to switch your crops around,
right. Yeah.
Plant them in a different area each time. And so this year we're going back to the crop organization to where it has been the most prolific. It's been the most productive that I can remember over the past few years. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. We had all that stuff, my wife plants all kinds of pest control plants and flowers and herbs and stuff that help keep kind of the pests away. And shoot, you just see our strawberry plants already. They're absolutely going nuts.
Are they really?
We got to start. Yeah. All of them have the starting of fruit on them. We got to cover them before the rabbits come and eat all of them. So we're already into that.
Yeah. Robert Thompson says black purple tomatoes are the best. Black crim and Cherokee purple.
There you go. So, I haven't had the black crim before, but boy,
write it down, man.
I learned all about the Cherokee purple last year, and
I
won't go back, man.
This is what I think you need to do, and this is strictly for a selfish reason for myself. You need to plant corn, and then we'll flood it, and then we'll hunt ducks out of your yard,
out of my little 10-foot yard.
I know you can touch the back fence from your deck, but let's just flood it, and then we'll sit back there. I'll bring the waiters, the whiskey, and the duck calls, and we'll see what we can bring in.
And my army neighbor behind me will catch any of the strays that we miss. Yeah, people hear me talking about rotating crops. Now you got to understand, I have just a small yard. I have these giant raised flower beds, and those are my crops that I rotate.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood you there. I thought we were talking 1,000 minimum acres,
5 miles says you throw some mayo on that. He's been growing them for years.
Oh,
I'm always carrying a salt shaker in my back pocket, man.
You have to. You absolutely. Yeah. Now that's a great question for the people. We're already up to quite a few people in chat, but Did you grow up, or do you now? When you have a garden, do you go out, pull off I know you're talking about pulling off tomatoes, taking out your pocket knife, cutting it open, sprinkle some salt on, eat it right off the vine. Does anybody else do that? I know I do.
I don't.
Anybody else,
No, screw the pocket knife, man. I just start chomping onto that thing.
You eat it like an
Throw
apple?
the salt on it. No, that and the cucumbers and in my strawberries. Like I barely get stuff in the house. My wife's always yelling at me. But yeah.
What you're bringing in is actually 50% of what you're pulling off the vine, huh?
There you go. But luckily, we grow enough to where it's like.
There you go.
Year before last, we grew so much, we were just giving that stuff away left and right.
You have to.
We had these giant griller zucchini that were just like this big,
massive
these green griller zucchinis, and we couldn't give them away fast enough. We're like, please, somebody take these. He's got too many.
That's hilarious.
Who's joining us tonight? Let's
find
out who's in the chat. Whoa, a lot of people coming in. Good to see you.
I know. Look at this. We got Bill Hayes. Bill was here like a half hour early.
There you go.
Saying howdy, y'all. We had Tim from Ill Digger. Says, happy Thursday Eve, all you dirty money lovers. Thursday Eve, that's our thing, because we're so set in our ways for being Thursdays, huh?
That's right. Yep.
I
still can't get used to it.
I know, it's difficult.
It used to be podcast, and then it was Friday.
And then
I'd wake up in the morning, it was like, I can get through this day.
Yeah,
and
I got one more day now.
And now I got 2 more days. And it's like, so hard getting used to.
Hello to Lazy Cat Detecting NC.
That old lazy cat.
Lazy cat. Love it.
Love it.
How about Robert? We already mentioned Robert was talking about stuff earlier. Howdy.
Howdy, Robert.
This is my favorite. I had to star this already. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all have been out digging and making awesome finds recently. I'm looking forward to tonight's show with Tony and Ken Flicks.
Dun, dun, dun. I need to get a hat that says Ken Flicks on it.
You know what? I'm gonna download the Netflix music. Next week, I'll be the host. I'll bring you in, and you'll have the Netflix music, and then you will bring you on.
Oh boy, that would be good for next week because we got some guests coming in. That would absolutely. They're also on the Netflix special, so
they are.
We're gonna have a big Netflix show next week.
Yep, we're gonna talk about that once we get through the chat here.
Yeah.
How about this one? Look at this. Hi, road tripping back from Bone. Hopefully the service will stay within the show. Thanks for the entertainment. Dig one. Hey, let us know how that went. I've never been to a Bone. Always interested.
Always been wanting to go. I've always heard it's a really great event out there.
Awesome. And if anybody else is in the chat that was there, let us know as well. That's great. Heavy Metal Detectors, Kentucky.
Howdy.
That's right. How about this one?
Zoom. I do it every time.
I had to beat you to it. Relic Jedi, evening. Oh,
he's probably rolling his eyes. Be like, okay,
I know. God, like I haven't heard that one before. Another dad joke. Nick from Thin Blue Diggers. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you, Nick. I got a text message from Nick earlier. I think it was today. He showed me these pictures of all these morels, morel mushrooms.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. An entire table full of morels. He said his buddy had found all these out in his backyard or something. Like, that's crazy. Might be a little bit longer till Colorado has them. Close though. Close.
I've seen Shane Clush has been out there.
Clush found one. Yeah. Yep. East Idaho Digger. Hope everyone's having a good evening. Good to see you. Hey, Rocky Mountain Lice Prospecting up in the mountains joining us.
RMLP. Is that what we're going to say?
That's right.
Say RMLP. What's up, man?
That's a little bit easier.
Well,
Brush Popper.
Yeah. What's up, Brush Popper?
That's right.
And my wife just texted me. It's hailing outside. I got all this stuff on my window outside my office here. And I'm like turning around, looking at it, like I got stuff coming through.
Want to say hello, good evening to Mr. Jim Steele. Thanks for joining us tonight, Jim.
Hey there, Jim.
Always great to have you on. Jim was winner of a couple giveaways we had recently. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Make sure you keep listening to Relics Radio. It could be you next time. Detect SD saying good evening. Yeah, we're going to see Detect SD here. God, how many weeks do we have now?
Oh, my gosh. It's coming right up.
Let's see. It's
4 weeks.
Like 4 weeks.
That's going to be right around the corner.
So, yep. We've got Rush to the Rockies coming to Colorado in 4 weeks. And Detect SD reached out to Ken and I, said, "Hey, I'm making the trip down south to visit you guys, so we're gonna do some detecting with him."
Yeah.
And
I'm coming to his neck of woods next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, but I'm tied up with stuff, kind of looking at the job site and kicking back, hanging out. But I don't have any time to get out. That's for sure.
Gosh, that would be good if you could.
Yeah.
How about Andrew's Adventures? Good evening from Canada.
Andrew T. Good
Welcome in, Andrew.
Welcome.
And of course, cheers from 5 Mile Relic Hunter.
What's up, 5
Awesome. There's a couple of the people here.
Workman's Adventures I saw come in.
Oh,
Silver
yeah.
Assassin.
There we go.
No way.
How about Dig 50/50?
Oh, there you go.
Dirt Clod's here.
Dirt Clod.
Nice.
Welcome, everyone. We could just keep going and going.
I know, right?
I got Lurker Troy. I see a bunch of people popping in. Welcome, everybody, to a Wednesday night Relics Radio. What do we got coming up? We talked about 4 weeks from now.
Yep.
And you're probably going to get sick of us talking about this, but for the next 4 weeks, you're going to hear us talk about it a lot. We have our National Open Metal Detecting event here in Colorado. Now, I know you see a ton of metal detecting events, seeded hunts, wild hunts going on all across the United States. And the Eureka Treasure Hunters Club, which is Tony and I's club, and Jeff Lubert and a bunch of other people, we put on these hunts. We've been putting them on since the club's been around since 1973. This is their 25th hunt. So we're no strangers to putting on these hunts. We were putting on hunts before putting on hunts was cool.
There you go.
That? Yeah, there you
go. I like that.
And we missed last year, but we got this one coming up this year. It's called the Rendezvous 2025 in Kiowa, Colorado, which is just outside of Denver. Should be a lot of fun. It's a seeded hunt, which means we plant everything in the ground. You go out and you find it. There's tokens out there for prizes. We have all the greatest manufacturers, all the manufacturers. They're just the greatest supporting us this year. We have Nocta. Nocta stepped up in an absolutely big way. Thank you, Nocta. Huge main sponsor of ours. Garrett stepping up as always. And Mind Lab stepping up as always, just supporting us. Absolutely great. We have Excalibur Shovels supporting us. We have all kinds of great manufacturers supporting us. And Mind Lab even went a step further and kind of brought out the Masters of Metal competition to our hunt. So our hunt is May 30th, 31st, and June 1st. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can find out all information at eurekathc.org, or just search Rush to the Rockies in Google, and you'll find it. You'll find your way over there to it. You got all the registration forms over there, got all the information. If you can't find something you're looking for, go ahead and message me or message Tony. Get a hold of us and we'll be able to share it with you. But Tony, I know everyone always says, what is Masters of Metal? Sounds like a heavy metal concert.
It is. I'm ready.
Tony plays guitar and I play saxophone.
Really? Masters of Metal is a competition put on by Mind Lab, and they've got a couple different events. You have a team of 4, 3 active competitors and 1 alternate, and you guys compete in different events. Each event's going to be scored individually, collectively as a team. Collect those points over for your team, and then they're gonna crown at the end the Master of Metal. We've got 4 different events.
4 different events. Yep.
For the Masters of Metal. So I know this guy right here and myself, we formed a team. So if you guys want to compete against us, try and beat us. It's not going to take much to beat us, but if you want to come on out, and I'm showing a video here. This was Rush to the Rockies in 2022. So as we're talking about Masters of Metal, but it's going to be a great competition, great time. It's all friendly competition, but it is competition, right? Opportunity to win. You ready for this? First place, $2,500. Can't beat that.
You pay $50 for your team.
$50 a team,
not per person, but per team.
Nope.
For a chance of winning $2,500 first place. Second place,
$1,500.
Third place,
I think it's $1,000 or $1,100.
$1,000.
$1,000. So
that's not too bad.
No, not too shabby at all. Well, it's going to test a whole bunch of different things, including gold panning, target identification, speed detecting, those kind of different things.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We're very, very excited to participate, and it's all with Rush to the Rockies the same weekend. It's not going to interfere with Rush to the Rockies. Masters of Metals is completely separate, quote event on that weekend with us at the same site out in Kiowa, Colorado. So, you already gave up the website, right?
Yep. And then you can also go look on Mind Lab's website for Masters of Metal and find Colorado on there, and you can register your team there. But they have all the information on our Eureka Treasure Hunters Club website or over at Mind Lab. Or like I said, if you're missing anything, just reach out to Tony and I, and we'll hook you up.
We'll get you the info.
Yeah. And Tony's cooking all weekend for everybody, and no, I get that wrong. Tony, can you hear me? Tony.
I'm not cooking anything that weekend.
Here we go.
Y'all are going to have to cook for me.
You got a little frog in your throat, Tony. You may want to take another drink of whatever you're drinking.
Oh, geez. Sorry about that.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's that. How about this? Now that we're done with Rush to the Rockies, we got that off the list. What's the big Netflix reunion something coming up next week here on Relics Radio?
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on next week.
Next week, we're going to be talking about treasure hunts next week. We're going to be talking about Forest Fen, and we're going to be talking about the brand new Justin Posey hunt. We're going to be talking about a couple other hunts that are out there that you can get involved in. There's a bunch of other ones.
John Collins Black, right?
Collins Black, but there's a few other ones even that aren't as popular.
Sure.
But we're going to have Mike and Christy on from Cowlazars. You know them as Cow and K-Pro. They're going to be coming on. They have been the consistent live streaming YouTube channel in all things treasure hunting. They were completely active through the entire Forest Fen treasure hunt. They just constantly have been covering it. And now the new treasure hunts they're covering, they've even put on treasure hunts themselves. They have a pretty good community around them. That they have a Discord server. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk about it next week with them. But really cool. And they just constantly go live and talk all about these treasure hunts and what they're thinking about. And they have a community where you can share ideas and kind of bounce stuff off of people. So they're going to come on and talk to us about it. I'm really excited about it.
It's awesome.
And so recently there's a Netflix show called was it Golden Greed?
Yep.
All about the Forest Fen treasure hunt, where it kind of talks all about the searchers and what it was and all kinds of stuff. It's actually done really well. And we always joke that, Ken Flicks, I appear for about 0.03 seconds in the Netflix thing. They show an image of me saying something, and that's about it. But they also show Mike and Christy from Cowlazars quite a number of times in the show.
Yeah.
And so, we're all going to get together and talk about not only that program and how they got involved in it, kind of what it was like, but also, their ideas on the hunt and what they think about this whole nature of treasure hunting in 2025. So it should be a great show next Wednesday. Join us right here at 8 p.m. Eastern on Relics Radio. That should be a good time.
Yeah, it's kind of a community that's growing. Just like, we were talking about, we're putting on a seated hunt before, seated hunts were cool. I mean, it's grown so much. I mean, it seems like there's you could pick throw a dart at a dartboard and pick out a weekend, and you're going to have some sort of a hunt somewhere in the United States. Same thing with these treasure hunts and these hidden treasures with poems and ciphers and all these different things that you have to figure out and discover the treasures. And it seems like it's becoming, it's starting to come in a lot more. And I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. Forrest Fem was the OG on that. And, he said his intent was to get people out of nature to enjoy not only, the thrill of the chase, the thrill of the hunt, but just to get out there, enjoy your family. I know you search with your family. The Netflix series was talking about a lot with doing things as your family and searching for these treasures with your families and stuff like that. So I think it's fantastic. If people have the the means and the ability to put these things on and put them out there, and the smarts like Justin Posey does to throw things out there. And I think it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. So join us next week. Get your questions ready. I'm sure we'll all be racking our brains to try and figure out and decipher some different codes and things like that. So it's gonna be a great time. I'm ready. I'm excited.
I covered a small amount of it. You know what I mean? I was really into the Forest Fen treasure hunt, and I covered it a little bit, but I didn't go as nuts as like Calazar's does, right? Like they really cover it. And I'll tell you, I just dipped my toe in it. And for searchers out there, you know what that means. But I just dipped my toe in it a little bit. And boy, I got exposed to the world of that treasure hunting community. And you have the full spectrum, man. You have some people that are really out there that have some really unique ideas, and you have other people that are real scientific about it. And you're always like wanting to bounce in for, ideas off each other without actually giving away what you're thinking about solving. It becomes a quandary on what you should do with that. So we'll ask them how they deal with that, since they have an entire hub of searchers that can go and bounce stuff off.
Yep.
But, should be a lot of fun.
Gonna be a good week. Gonna be a good guest.
Yep. Hey, did you see this?
Uh-oh.
What? Yeah. So XP finally released. Detect Dig Smile says, did you all see the XP release the new HF coil for the Deus 2? And yes, I did see that. Pretty amazing. Everyone's really been waiting for it. And now people are going to be clamoring for it. I don't know if I'm going to get it. They
had to do something to try to get into that same kind of level as where the Manicore is, right over here. So they had to do something. Hopefully, it's in the same zip code, but may not be in the same spot.
Oh, we're just going to keep on that, huh? Just keep on.
Oh, I will. Absolutely. No, it's great. XP has an incredible following. It's an incredible machine, the Deus 2. And if they're stepping up the game with a high frequency coil, things going to be tough to beat. Tough to beat.
Yeah. It's got a lot of high frequency. And I know some people are like, well, what am I going to ever use that for?
Right.
But, it's small, it's tight, it's got a new charging system, it's got a graphite, like a real light shaft stem for it. It looks really cool. It's like I think it's like was it like 5x9, something like that, 9.5x5.
Okay.
But its operating frequencies are from 9 kilohertz up to 90 kilohertz. All right. And that's if you're in multi-frequency mode. 9 to 90. 9 to 90 in multi-frequency, and 9 to 120 in mono mode. So if you go in mono mode, you go from 9 to 120, and that, my friends, is a gold nugget seeking machine right there.
Yeah.
That's going to battle against like the Gold Bug 2 and all kinds of stuff like that. That's some high frequency stuff.
That is incredible.
So yeah, it's a gold killing machine, but they're promoting it as not just for gold, just for finding very, very small stuff. Higher in the frequency you go, the smaller items you're going to find. And it's pretty interesting. I was looking at it. It'll be interesting to see how many people buy that and what they use it for. If you're going to get it in the chat, let me know what you're going to use it for. What do you think it's going to benefit you on? And maybe we'll have Meryl on again to talk about it once it actually starts coming out. I know they just released it on their website and videos on it and stuff. So
Detecting Dig Smile says, I'm interested to see what's done on the beach.
Right.
Which is, because of mineralization, that kind of stuff. So
yep. It's going to hear a lot of stuff, man. It's going to hear a lot of stuff. So I'm sure there has to be an update coming. So there'll probably be a Deus 2 update coming to handle this coil once it's fully, before it gets in people's hands. I think they're just taking pre-orders right now. I've seen numbers like around the 340 range or something like that. Which Deus is like that. Their coils are really expensive because all the brains are in the coil.
Right.
You know what I mean? So their coils are more expensive than most other people's detectors' coils because they're more than just a send receive unit, tool. Yeah.
Well, that's great. I think you're going to probably need to get it, because after I've got this M9, it's just putting you to sleep with just the regular Deus 2.
It's getting so bad between this Manticore and this Deus that we're going to talk about it a little bit, but Tony and I got, and a buddy of ours got out on a new permission this weekend, a couple new permissions, and we're letting this quasi giving each other the business bleed over to homeowners and landowners. Like I remember when we were walking out through the land door, I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. He won't find anything over there. He's got the wrong machine. He's got the wrong machine with him. And I mean, she didn't know what we were talking about.
Yeah, they have no clue. It's an inside joke on us here.
Yeah, and I got to remember that they don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Or our sense of humor.
So let's talk about what happened this weekend. Well,
I found all the stuff, and Tony didn't.
No, you didn't. You're full of it. Let's back up to the beginning. Do you want to disclose how we got the information, or you just want to talk about this site kind of thing?
Yeah, we can talk about how we got the information. We've talked about it on one other show, I think it was.
Yeah,
it opened up some conversation, and I
think it's a great idea to throw out. And if people are just checking in for the first time, I think they could definitely benefit from this type of approach. Tactical approach to getting permissions.
It's another permission gaining tool in your arsenal.
It is.
And everyone in the chat, like they did last time, is going to say there is absolutely no mistake in it. And there's no substitution for going up, knocking on a door, and getting in front of in front of a person, taking off your hat and asking for permission. 100%.
And we absolutely believe that. Can't stray from that. But
yep. Like we'll target an area, we'll look at this, we'll get some ideas. Here's the doors you want to go knock, or let's see if we can approach this farmer and blah, blah, blah. Because we have found something there in the past, we've seen it, we've done the research, and that becomes a target of ours.
Absolutely.
That we really want to go get permission there. Have to get in front of those people, have to put your face on it. But I'm in an old town with even older parameters out in the farm fields and ranches and stuff. And I can't get around to all of them. So I do what they call Facebook fishing. Right? Facebook fishing.
That's a great term right there.
Fishing for permissions. So I'll create a post.
Information out there. You're just essentially you're putting your information out there, looking for a bite.
Yeah, that's all you're doing. Hey, here's who I am. Here's what I'm looking for. Here's the age of the properties, and here's why I do it, and here's what's in it for you. And let me know. Here's my email address so we can take it off of the public domain. And last time I think I read my entire spiel. I'm not going to do that tonight, but yeah, that's what I do. You put it out there, and you just see if you get any people that bite your lure.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing. It's maybe getting you people that you wouldn't necessarily go after, because if there's like, yeah, I've got a house that was made in this day, you're like, yeah, maybe, I can go check that out. What's your address? Kind of research it, see what was there in the old days. Or sometimes you're like, hey, I'm on this property. It's got one of the original schoolhouses from blah, 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 blah. And you're like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You're not on my target list, but guess what? Now you are. And you just gave me permission. So now I don't have to work for it.
Right.
I just got to keep the communication open with you and see if we can meet. So that's what usually I'll do is I'll get these responses. I'll ask them to email me. I'll reach back out. I'll start this communication with them. I'll even offer, see if we can come out and just meet each other, introduce myself so they know who I am. Or sometimes they're just like, yeah, great. When do you want to come out?
Right.
And this weekend was two of those
bites.
Yeah. Two of those bites that came in. They both were wonderful people, and they both were like totally all about it.
Absolutely. And once, like you said, you start doing a little bit of research, we do notice it is an older site. There was things from these dates. So, you're not just going out to a brand new development. Yeah, I saw that. You're not going out to a brand new development, which we've got quite a few of those out here in Colorado, but that type of idea, it's an old farm, it's an old homestead, it's an old house in an old neighborhood in an old town. You do a little bit of research because people don't know, and you don't want to make the trip and get to a house that was built in 2022 in a cookie cutter neighborhood. So a little bit of research was done and confirmed. Yes, absolutely. These are the types of sites that we're going to target.
Yeah.
So let's go out there. You've talked with the people. We got to meet both of the owners. Were absolutely phenomenal. Again, we can't enjoy this hobby on private permissions without incredible landowners like we've got this past weekend. So
they were great, man.
Awesome.
Not only that, we'll talk about each one of the permissions. We'll go into that, what we found and how we did what we did. But what I like about this stuff too is because of the way we had to approach these landowners to go out and detect with them, we didn't have open invitations. It's like, let's meet at this time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. I can, they're private people, right? So let's meet at this time. And we're like, okay, well, that's a little later than we normally like to get going. But it gave us an opportunity as a team. You and Michael would go out and we had some breakfast. And we found a little local cafe in the little town that she lived in. And we got to go there and, have some cool breakfast and, which I don't normally do before I dig, but, we got to talk about it, got all excited again. Yeah.
Ate way too much lunch because
we even had lunch, and I don't usually eat lunch either. I have a little snack in there somewhere, but
right.
Yeah. So yeah, I got about on my first, I've only done one attempt at this fishing thing locally this year so far. I'll do more at other towns and around me and stuff, but, I got 6 hits. I got 6 bites off of that one post, and probably 5 of them seem like they're really good. And one is don't know yet. You know what I mean? As far as whether it's really good or not, we'll find out. All of them.
The way that I think about it, it's like putting out, if you've gone jug fishing for catfish, the more lines that you have out there, you may come home with nothing. Nobody may reply to it. A catfish may not eat your line, but you know what? The more lines that you have out there, the more opportunities that there are out there. And like you said, you had six replies, 5 look good. That's pretty darn good odds. That's
those are 5 I wasn't looking for.
Exactly.
That I didn't know about. You know what I mean?
And they're already pretty good, permissions, really,
And they're wanting us to come. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like they need to think about it now. Like
they were so excited when we got out there just to both permissions. So happy to see. They want to talk your ear off, because they've got the interest, they've got the bug already as well. And even at the first one we went to in the morning, the daughter, who was she was an adult, she wasn't a juvenile, but the daughter, she had her own metal detector, and she just didn't have the guts, the oomph to get out. So we just kept encouraging, get that thing out, start to use it, start to learn it, and do this with us.
Yeah.
And it's just a little hurdle for her to get over, and she's got the interest. So cool people though.
Really cool. Really cool. The mom was cool. The daughter was cool. The granddaughter, little 10-year-old gal was good. Was cool. So the first place we went to was a house. It was a house that was built back in the day, and they invited us out. It was actually the lady's mom's house. And so we went out there, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry. She won't mind." And I'm like, no, wait, we gotta make sure you talk to her about this first.
Yeah.
So we went out there, and it was fun meeting them. Small place, right? Kind of she said it's a small yard, and we were kind of checking it out on Google Street View and stuff, kind of see. But when we did that, what we started noticing that all the other houses up and down the street from that also were built in the same time period.
Same time.
And we're like, look at that one. We got to go knock on that door. We got to look at that one.
Right.
So
as the owner that has the permission that we're there on knows her neighbors, knows across the street, knows what's going on. Oh, you should go talk to this person. They've been there for the longest, and I bet they would. They'd let you on their property, that kind of thing. And again, it's the networking. You get one.
Yep.
And then when you door knock the next one, hey, we were just over at Mary's house, 3 doors down.
And it happened.
It absolutely did.
And it happened. Yeah.
So
hey, go talk to that person. I bet they'll let you
use it to your advantage.
Yeah, they sure did. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So what do you want to talk about that? Like, cause I thought each place was unique and had unique things to it.
Yeah, the first one, like you said, small house in a neighborhood. You're pretty much looking for coins, in that type of situation. You're targeting the coins. You're not going to have, I mean, you're going to have relics, maybe some children's toys that are older, those kind of different things. But, it's a little bit different than what we would be normally like targeting. Normally we're looking for old schoolhouses, military sites, military camps, old homesteads that are in fields that are no longer there, that kind of thing. There was cross contamination because, people are still living there right now in 2025.
Yeah.
So, you got to dig through the modern, you got to find, try to get to the old stuff. So, it's kind of bringing us back to just door knocking houses and, we put in a good couple hours there. I think we did a pretty good job.
I think we got started at 9 and we had our next appointment. The next place we were going to go to wanted us there, or said she wasn't going to be there until about 1.
Right.
So yeah, we had a few hours to get after it, and then maybe take a break, go have some lunch or something, and then get to the second spot. So
yep. And we found, there wasn't a lot out in the back. You figure a lot of stuff would be up in the front, and that definitely was the case. We certainly found and dug all the Zinkins we could find.
All the pieces of siding that we could find.
All the flashing. Yep.
Yeah,
So
flashing.
Found it, I found 2 Wheaties from the 40s. No silver. Yeah. But just, your typical kind of like house permission.
Yep. Typical house permission. Great people, wonderful people. Stayed with us the entire time. They were just as excited as we were. Yeah. And they had the added experience of having a little 10-year-old girl follow you everywhere you go. And so when you go in a group, there was 3 of us, right? There was Tony, myself, and our friend Michael. And we went and we were hitting it. I don't know if we drew straw. I don't think we even drew straws or whatever, but
no,
it was, I got the permission. So I sort of was like, okay, I did this actually consciously on purpose. I made it, my mission is to make that little girl have a good time. Right. And also I knew if I was doing that and taking up her time, my buddies could go and just hit it and completely be unimpeded by that. And I'm telling whether you know that or not, but that is exactly why I did what I did. She was great anyways. She would yell and scream across the yard. Oh my gosh, every little thing I found.
Yep.
He found a nail. And she would take that nail and she'd go running to her mom and her grandma. And then she'd come running back. And pretty soon I was letting her use the pinpointer, but I didn't have it audible, had it in my headphones. So I would tell her left, 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 right. Okay, right there. And I'll push down. Okay, right there. It's right down there somewhere. And she would dig for it and find this piece of siding or something. And she'd be like, what is this? I go, oh, it's a piece of flashing. It's flashing, Well, we found this round circle thing. It was like a top of a paint can or something. I go tell your mom this is an Egyptian necklace. And she goes running. Egyptian necklace.
Absolutely hilarious.
We're having a good time.
Well, I will tell you though, she did learn one thing. So obviously, she was like 10 years old. Pop cans, aluminum cans, those kind of different, they've evolved over the years, right? One of the first targets I find, I'm digging kind of everything. That's repeatable. And I dig just like Detective Smile says, I dig a pull tab. And she's like, what is that? What is a pull tab? So we had to explain to her what a pull tab was. Well, I dug 6 more in the backyard. I was where they were having a good time. I was in that area, the good time area.
Right.
And then after the first one, she's running another pull tab. She's yelling pull tab, pull tab. So, hey, she did learn something about what a pull tab was, at least.
She did. Absolutely. She did. But she was so excited. And then when I was given her opportunity to actually participate and being patient with her, the grandma was like, oh, you're being so patient with her. That is so cool, And I go, well, you got a treasure on your hunter on your hands right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's getting into it, man. And then I'd let her move the coil, and I'd be like, okay, right there, and go, keep swinging, and then I was kind of having her help me a lot. That was in the back, and then once we got in the front, we kind of went after it.
Yeah.
But it kind of gave you guys some time to kind of hit it hard without having to spend that time. You know what I mean?
Well, you knew you weren't going to be able to go and find anything after the Manicore went over.
That's true. As soon as I saw you pull that out, I was like, oh man, I'm going to go hang out with the 10-year-old and just.
It wasn't as fruitful as we had hoped. We didn't find silver. We didn't find, some, incredible earth-shattering relic type of thing, but it was a good time. Great people, great to meet, make contacts, talk history. And actually, but before we left, I don't know if you had seen this, but the daughter, not the middle daughter, she had said that she actually, I'd found, this is what it was. I'd found a rose tag. We find rose tags all the time. I mean, they sound great, aluminum, and it's got stamped into it the type of rose that was planted there, and it said Bonanza. That was the first target that I pulled out of the front yard. She goes, "My horse was named Bonanza."
I didn't hear.
I'm like, "Well, that's cool. Here, this is yours. Then you need to take that." So before we left, I had my scrap bucket still in the truck from when I was out at that stagecoach stop a couple weeks ago. 1870s all day long. No cross contamination kind of thing. And I was putting my machine away, and I was like, you know what? I got an old horseshoe, literally from the 18s, found right out front of the old stagecoach stop. I'm like, this is 1870s all day. I'm like, let me just go give it to her. So I walked over, gave it to her, and she's like, "You've got to be kidding me." And I was like, I told her a little bit of the history of, stagecoach stop, and it's legit 1870. She's like, "This was the best thing that I have." It was absolutely amazing. So
she was blown away, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was a good time. Yeah. It was a really good time. Great to meet great people.
Your great find, your best find is probably that dog tag.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Found an old dog tag from the city.
1950 dog tag, but it said that which the coolest part, it said the town right on the dog tag. It's stamped. I don't know if it was aluminum or brass or something, a little bit of a harder, probably wasn't aluminum, but a little bit of probably brass, stamped with the town, the date, the license or dog tag number for the dog. And I was like, gosh, you should be able to go and to look at the town website, and they might, be able to research somehow and find out that, this was Sparky's tag from
Gotham.
This address.
We tell people we were in Gotham.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Gotham dog tag. Yeah.
It's Sparky the dog from Gotham City.
That's it.
But something like that's cool. And they were like, "Oh my gosh." Mm-hmm. And then I told the little girl, I was like, "You know what the best thing about this dog tag is? When I dug it up, it wasn't attached to the dog." And then you just saw it come over. She was like, "Yeah, that's probably best you didn't happen." So,
but then they're like, "Hey, go over to my neighbor. I bet he'll let you go over there." And he had this large shot. Yeah.
They went over there and the door knocked for us and said, "Hey, these guys are metal detecting our yard. They want to do yours. Is that okay?" "Sure, go ahead."
Yeah.
So we poked around there for a second. Didn't find anything over there.
A lot more manicured over there a little bit. And I found a hose nozzle.
You know what it was Phil was there before we were.
Yeah, Major Phil was there.
That Phil Dirt.
That
Phil Dirt guy was there.
No more Phil Dirt. Come on, people. Sign the petition. No more Phil Dirt.
So
Detective Smile says if you see bones, stop.
That's right.
Unless you can't and they're in the beaver trap that you happen to
yeah,
find.
That's true. If they're still stuck in the trap. That's true. That's funny.
That's Tony's specialty.
So what was the second? We had lunch, ate way too much at lunch, went to a barbecue place. Barbecue. It was so good.
That was good.
Local barbecue place.
Meatloaf sandwich.
Yeah.
Smoked meatloaf sandwich. Oh, it was delicious.
And the second permission definitely was the one that had the most potential.
Yeah.
A lot more history on the super old maps. Not a house in a neighborhood. It was definitely a destination spot at one time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was out in the middle of nowhere. It was a farm, currently a farm. And the farm owner was like, "Yeah, hey, come on out." Like same thing. We have an old detector. We haven't really ran out. We're always wondering what was here. Here's the history we know of the place. They're saying train tracks went right by. There was this old station here, blah, blah, blah. A lot of railroad activity. And just, I found tons of bottles here. I found a lot of other artifacts. I'm going to show you all the stuff we found just poking around. And we really
it's nice when they have a larger property, but they know their property. I mean, generally, ranchers, homesteaders, they know pretty much every square inch of their property for the most part.
Yeah.
And what really got me, she goes, "Okay, so we've got our land goes all, you see that gray house?
It was so far away.
It's a mile down the road. You have my permission to go all the way down to there. That's all of our land."
Yeah.
Like, well, wait a minute. You want to,
Yeah.
if you want to go down there, you use my side by
You got
side.
the side by side. You guys want the four
You guys
four
can
side
take
by side?
that.
Go ahead and take it. Just keys are in it. Just very, very hospitable,
How
very
awesome is
generous.
that?
And the thought out thing was she was so cool. First, they showed us around the farm.
Right.
She has all these sort of cool animals that she raises,
Yeah.
and a couple of them I'd never even seen before. But she also, I don't know, would you call her an artist?
Yeah.
She had a creative side to her.
Yeah. Creative.
Using relics that was, we were oohing and on the entire time during the tour. And she's like, I knew you guys would dig this. And we're like, oh my gosh. Like she would reuse and repurpose everything.
Yep.
Old car grills, old doors that she would turn into hanging tables. And I mean,
so cool.
So cool. Like round spigot knobs on old spigots.
Oh, that was cool.
That she painted different colors. She had all the different kinds of designs. She had it up in the thing. She had a big American flag, woodworked American flag with shotgun head stamps as the stars for the American flag. Just stuff like that everywhere. Like we were just, our eyes were all over the place.
I found the Easter egg though in the one, I forgot what she had called it, but she had used old tin as the inside roof inside this outbuilding.
Yeah.
And they had like a dining room table inside. It was kind of just a gathering place.
Gathering house, yeah.
On the tin, it showed the maker's mark and then the location of who made it. And I'm looking at it and I said, "Hey Ken, look at this. This is from Canton, Ohio," which, Ohio, right? She goes, "Nobody has ever looked at that before." She says, "I put that right in the middle of the ceiling and no one's ever noticed that before."
Yeah.
I was like,
yep.
It's Ohio though. It's Ohio. It's where all the best relics are.
Yeah, she was so impressed that you saw that. But we were both like going, is that one of these things? And she's like, right. Oh my God, no one else knows what that is. Yeah.
Just the old relic detail. We were detail oriented, looking for old stuff and just pointing it out. And she was amazed by our eyes as well.
The most amazing thing she showed us that day that blew my mind, Tony's too, is our metal detecting club in Denver has a member there who has a ranch, and it's got a name to it. And the club and him go way back. They have a huge relationship together. And a lot of times he invites the club out to the ranch to hold hunts there, club hunts there, to have functions out there, because it's this big, beautiful ranch. And we've been going there for years now. So everyone in the club knows it, this name of this ranch. So we're at this new permission, just came off of Facebook fishing. We got it. We're out there at this ranch, and she's showing us all this cool stuff. And she's even like, that building over here was on this place, and I had it all torn down. I brought it up here and put it back up. Just a real go-getter. And she's got this old outhouse.
Yeah, an outhouse.
Just an outhouse. Old outhouse. Old one. And it looks kind of all rickety and stuff. And she goes, that was on another ranch that I went and I bought it. It was all in pieces. I came back and I put it all back together. And above the door was a sign that had the name of this ranch from our club. It was the club. It was the ranch associated with our club.
Yeah.
That was established in 1852. And Tony and I looked at that and we said, you got to be kidding me. And I gave her the name of the ranch owners. She goes, that's who it was. Absolutely. That's who it was.
How does that happen?
What a coincidence that is. That found each other by Facebook fishing, went out there, she happened to buy that from people that we know well. You know what I mean?
And it was a working outhouse. It was not the look. She actually was using this outhouse.
Yeah, we opened the door and it was all fancy in there, man. Like she had all kinds of like knickknacks and like shelves with stuff on it, and like artwork on the walls, and just it was great, man.
Yeah.
But she had paddocks. She had paddocks of animals.
Yep.
And she's like, you're welcome to go anywhere you want. Don't worry about it. I don't have any bulls out there. Just the donkeys will leave you alone. The cows are cool, and so we were just, our minds were spun. Like, where do we go first?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the thing. We know the history is there. The history goes back, late mid-ish, late 1800s. We know the history is there, but there's so much land to cover. Like I said, that goes all the way down a mile down the road. So, we kind of poked around a little bit, found a lot of the modern stuff, and just tried to pinpoint, exclude certain areas. Okay, we're going to mark that off list. We're not going to go there. Maybe focus on this kind of area. How does this relate to, the original spots and that kind of thing? So,
yeah. Trying to figure out where to go, where to start.
Right.
That was all part of it. So we all kind of split in separate directions. We should have took our walkie-talkies, but we didn't. So we all split in kind of separate directions. We were kind of within eye shot of each other, but not always earshot. And I started finding all kinds of hits, all kinds of things, but it seemed like everything I was finding was looked like what was molten lead, but it was
slag. Slag.
Slag. Yeah. I mean, it looked almost like chunks of rough concrete.
Right.
Heavy.
But it was lead.
But it was lighting up my detector. Yeah. It was definitely lead. So I was looking at, so it wasn't a brick outhouse, Bill Hayes. It was a lead outhouse now. But I was just like, why am I finding? I found a little Wrangler's button cap and like a snap cap, and I just wasn't finding the stuff that was too old. I was being a little selective in this first run. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Let me know in the chat, when you get on a brand new permission and you have vast amount of area to cover, you're kind of doing usually I do a fast pass, kind of being very selective. I want to dig just to see if I can find something that's going to make me hunker down and dig into it. And I got to say, I didn't really find that aha moment that was crazy. And I was staying in the same area pretty much, but still wasn't, I was working my way along the fence, kind of working down towards the entry, and Tony was over in this paddock with the cows, because she was talking about these big impressions and how they used it kind of as a junk dump. And also she said all the bottles that she's found are over there. And she thinks when the train pulled up, they offloaded all this stuff. The ground was covered in black. The dirt was black.
It was crazy
from coal.
It blew me away. I was so surprised. I understood, there's probably some coal and stuff. It was a solid 2 inches of coal before you hit any brown dirt underneath it.
Yeah, just from years of the trains coming through there and that black smoke pushing out that coal, those coal embers, and remember them, offloading and loading coal in and out of the trains there. Whatever it was everywhere. It was definitely everywhere. It looked like you're on a black sand beach. For those of you that have been on black sand beaches. But Michael was off in a different direction, and Tony was, and we really didn't just come up with anything, right? We found some interesting. You found some interesting iron objects.
Yeah, I pulled a wheel hub. I think it was a wagon wheel hub, which was cool because again, that's we know the age is there.
Yep.
Got a couple railroad spikes, which I think are always cool.
Yeah.
I did find, I didn't show you, but I did find an old head stamp. That was towards the back of the property. So we know the age is there. We just got to find. There's just so much ground to cover.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely.
And there's also new
there.
on top of old.
Yeah.
The area where the old is, there's some, they're working that area.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have to get through some of the new stuff, I think. But the age is on the site. The age is on the site and the traffic. So
and I found some aerial photos that I think are going to help us kind of figure out where we should detect next on that property and check it out. Where maybe older activity was that isn't as quite contaminated with the new stuff. But we'll see.
Right.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the railway's been on the map. It was on a 1902 map. I read all about the railway, Union Pacific. When they established it, they brought it through in the 1870s and 1880s. Especially this line was more around 1880. And so it's been around. It's definitely got the age. It's been around. So
Detect Dig Smile says LiDAR is good to look at also. Absolutely. It's another tool.
That's right. We've done some good work with LiDAR, especially some of the
Mhm.
places we've been hunting where we're like, well, we see there's a structure out there, at least on the topo maps. Let's check LiDAR. And all of a
Right.
sudden, the foundation just pops out, or the
Yeah.
impressions pop right out to you. So you're like, that's where we're
Yeah.
going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Relic Jedi's correct. I did find the 12th Georgia.
Yeah.
So you can never go wrong. It is where it's at. 12th Georgia.
Yeah. Always going to find the 12th Georgia. So I once found a 16th Georgia. That was pretty good.
That's rare.
Yeah, it's rare.
That is
Very
rare.
few knew that Georgia had a 16th, but it was the 16th Georgia. Oh boy. So yeah, it was fun. It was a fun day. We gave it a good effort. But again,
not as fruitful as we wanted.
No. And us
In
talking
terms
about
of-
these hunts
of
really
relics.
wasn't about what we found,
Mhm.
but what we discovered. And that's the
Right.
difference, right? What you find and what you discover. So what we discovered was an amazing landowner, an amazing farmer who's just a go-getter and does so much work with this land, being a steward of this land. And the
Mhm.
animals she's raising is just incredible.
Incredible. Yeah.
Matter of fact, she had to have us wait till 1 because she had to go deliver a bunch of donkeys to about 5 towns over, and so she was busy with that. Just amazing, you know.
That's
We weren't done. We were kind of just thinking that maybe we started getting to where we're pretty much wiped out and tired, and we see this vehicle tear out of there, and we're like, you know, wave to it. We don't know who it is, if it's her or husband or whatever, you know, we kind of wave to it, keep detecting. And we kind of start getting together. Well, guys, what do you think? You know, we had it for today. Yeah, maybe we should go. Here's what I found. You know how you do, and try to figure it out. And then Michael found a bale seal out in the paddock that looked pretty old and it had
Great
a date on
find.
it. And he goes, well, I'm going to go up knock on the door and give this to her. And I said, yeah, that's a great idea. And then kind of looked down at my phone and I had a text from her about an hour previously when that car took off. Just said, hey guys, I got to go run here. I got to go do this. I got to do this. Just make sure you shut the gate when you leave. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like in a period of a number of hours, like she's trusting us. She's really digging what we're doing. You know, and of course, you know, we just want to, you know, reciprocate that trust at all. So, you know, we were tickled to be out on that property. I remember I stood and just didn't detect for a while.
Yeah.
Looked around to
just
where I was
looked at
at
it.
and looked around the neighboring farms and stuff. And there was a guy out there on a 4-wheeler, like herding his cows with his 4-wheeler and stuff. And
Yeah, we're out in the sticks.
definitely.
Which I tell you that I'm spoiled, man. That's the kind of detecting that I love. And it honestly, it goes back to my first trip out to Ohio when I was digging with Don from Detection Connection.
Yeah.
And he says, you know, there was a town right where we are. You know, there was a schoolhouse on this corner. You see that hill back there in the field is the blacksmith shop. Across the field, you know, across the road was where the house is. Like, and I'm just sitting there and there's nothing but corn. And now, man, that's where I want to dig. I want to dig where people used to be and aren't anymore.
Yeah.
And just get into old life. And I enjoy that the most. And I've been spoiled with that. But we're out in the sticks on this property.
Yeah, definitely were. And again, we've got more trips there. She's invited us back anytime.
Oh yeah.
Just let her know and shut the gate. So
That's right.
you know, just drop her notice, be like, hey, we're thinking of coming out.
Absolutely. And she's incredible. She let us.
Yeah, absolutely. So more to come there. And we've got these other ones too that I need to reach out to and set up a date.
Yeah.
The other one's like got a schoolhouse on it. The other one has part of the original township right next to this old town that's kind of pretty famous for being an old kind of abandoned ghost town. She's right on the perimeter of that. So she hasn't given me her address yet, so I can't really do all the research I'd normally do trying to find overlays and stuff like that. But
yeah,
still place it. Plus all our other stuff too that we have.
Yeah, all the other permissions
to go. So should be fun, man. Should be fun.
Absolutely.
It's not about finding, right?
It's certainly not. It's not. You know, we got this is our first time out with Michael this year. You know, so we got to catch up with our buddy. Then we're meeting incredible owners.
Yeah.
You know, just getting out. It was a gorgeous day. I'm sunburned. I don't know if you're my neck is scorched. The back of I am a true redneck now already.
Yeah.
I got scorched.
Yeah, I forgot the sunscreen.
It was
hot.
beautiful
It was
day.
hot.
So,
Yeah.
not always about finding, but we definitely were out trying.
The breakfast was cool because it was, like you said, it was the first time you, I, and Michael got a chance to catch up since like last year or whatever, last season. So we were just vomiting into the mouth, like word vomiting, like the research we've been doing and Tony's been doing, I've been doing, and Michael, he's like, oh my God, you guys have been up to so much. We're talking about, authors we've been out to meet because he wrote about this, Indian wars and going here and meeting this person and what this turned into. And then we went and we did this and this. And he's like, oh my God, I got to tell you, I'm on this site. I'm trying to find out if there's permission for you guys to come on it. Just going off on each other. And it was really cool to catch up like that.
Yeah.
Have that time to kind of reconnect and, just realize what geeks we are together.
I know, a bunch of nerds sitting at this table.
Yeah, sure.
I did want to mention here, and I just got this sent to me. Ken hasn't seen this yet, but we've got a new hat coming out here pretty soon. So if you need your Ken Flicks hats, make sure that you reach out to Nick's Custom Laser Engraving at Nick HD.
Did he just put that together? How fast can he do that?
He just did that.
Oh, Nick.
So he can get it's going to go on a hat just like this. Ken Flicks.
That's too much.
Coming soon.
That's too much.
No, but Nick does all of our hats, all of our oh geez, I got stuff over here too. Look at this. I got a that's not going to come up. Little coaster. I had my whiskey on. Hats. Yeah, reach out to Nick. He'll take care of you. He takes care of Relics Radio, 5280, and Adventures in Dirt. So there you go. Get your Ken Flicks hats right now, while they last.
Oh wow, Nick. That's too much, man. Pink, Nick. Pink hat.
Blue, black, or camo, Ken?
That's funny. So since we didn't find anything, we thought it'd be fun tonight to talk about what other people are finding. Since we didn't find anything this weekend, but had an amazing time. So we did pull some things that we saw people finding that is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
If you're ready, why don't we go and talk about the one you picked out, because
I got it.
We could probably kill the rest of the show talking just about that. So
this one's pretty crazy. Yeah. So I was on Facebook, and you can find me at 5280 Ventures on Facebook. I'm on Facebook quite a bit, and I reposted this over to my Facebook page because they were asking for some help. They were looking for some helping. It says help finding descendants. So you guys got to check this out. This is a badge of some sort. Hopefully you can see this. I'll kind of zoom in a little bit.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to say first, Bradley Wilson, give credit over to Bradley, found this, posted it on Civil War Unearthed. Now look at this badge here. Now what we can read on it is, we're assuming a name here at the top, J.C. Shelby. And then if you read down through the rest of this, we're going to go Company F, the 1st NEV Nevada VOL Volunteer Cavalry. And then here at the bottom it says War 1861 to 65 or to 65. And this blew me away. Like, he's looking help finding descendants. I'm like, well, let me get this out on my page as well and see if anybody can do some research. I know Ken loves doing research on soldiers.
Yeah. I would have been
and
all
stuff like that.
But can you imagine finding that? Can you imagine?
I could. The first thing I thought of was my Rough Riders badge. Same idea. It's okay. This is incredible, number one. But now let me start doing the research on it. Like,
yeah.
But to go back, Civil War. Holy crap! And I don't know enough about Civil War to know if this was a commemorative type of badge, if this was something that was issued. Maybe he was, some sort of an officer. I just don't know. Yeah. But it blew me away that someone was able to save this.
It could have been a, you just don't know, like
a
GAR thing maybe, or
right.
Yeah.
Dropped and Forgotten is such a cool save. I absolutely agree. And that's the reason why I wanted to show it, but also see if anybody could maybe go down to what we call the rabbit hole and
Yeah.
start researching it a little bit. So before we started the show, I went back to that image and Ken and I were talking about it. And guess what?
Some people did some work.
I did some research like we would have. Which was really cool. So here we go. We'll zoom in on it. This was an attachment on a comment on that particular picture. And if we start all the way to the top, John C. Shelby in the U.S. headstone applications for military veterans, 1861 to 1985. So, and when we read, right away, you see right at the top, application for a headstone. Excuse me. And the person that posted it has these check marks going, yeah, I'm pretty sure John C. Shelby from Company F, 1st Battalion, Nevada Cavalry. So, I mean, it's checking all the boxes that this is probably this person right here. And they were buried in Newberg, Oregon. And this is a request. I think it's from GAR was requesting an application for a headstone for this particular soldier.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. And this was made in, I think the request. So I think he was date of death, I think is what this says up here, February 13th, 1932. And then September 30th, 1935 is when they were requesting the actual headstone. So, and it shows shipped. It looks like December 7th of 35. So successful in terms of getting that headstone out to this person. But
yeah. And it looks like he enlisted in 1863 and discharged 1866.
There we go.
And Relic Jedi said, what year did Nevada become a state? They didn't become a state till 1864. So maybe, like, why would it be the Nevada Cavalry if they weren't a state?
Right.
Yet? But, if he enlisted in 63 and then they sort of, put him out in Nevada to kind of, the whole came out here for the West, you know what I mean? As part of the cavalry out here in the West. And then maybe Nevada, from their militia that was out here in the territory that was out here, maybe they, mustered through this Nevada volunteer cavalry. So
pretty incredible freaking find.
Yeah, it would be great to research. I mean, that's the kind of holes I love to jump down. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I want to know who their family was and who their parents were and what their brothers and sisters were like and where they lived, where they grew up. Like, I love figuring all that stuff out. So,
yep.
Good job, Bradley Wilson, for finding it, and good job from everyone that is helping them research that.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll find surviving relatives. And if you're listening to the show, Bradley, and you don't contact me, that's my specialty. I love doing that, finding surviving relatives that might love to have that. Because
incredible.
Keep it in the family to which it belonged. Can you imagine if you're a great granddaughter or something of that person, and
right,
the history of the family, but you know of that guy, but you don't really have anything, and all of a sudden somebody shows up and says, "Hey, I have this." Oh my gosh! Somebody knocked on my door and said they had something from my great grandfather or great grandfather from the Civil War. I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've done my ancestry, and I found that my fourth grandfather was in the Civil War. My seventh great grandfather was in the Revolutionary War. So, if y'all find anything with Frangella on it, you just let me know.
Right.
I'd be willing to accept it. I tell you that.
Yeah. It's fun. It's great when you start doing your research. It's great what you can find because, just start doing it. You'll blow yourself away in the stuff that not only you can find, but you'll discover other relatives that you don't even know yet that have already been out there doing the research.
Yeah.
And then they'll let
more
you
to connect with your family about.
Sure. Yeah.
So cool.
Very cool.
So that's what I wanted to share there. I thought it was pretty cool to share that with the group. I think everybody was saying, cool find, awesome relic, awesome information. Bill says awesome information there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good find.
Let's see what I could do here.
What you got?
See see this here.
Wow. Drum and Detect. First off, welcome into Drum and Detect. My one grandfather was a drummer boy in
Are you
Rev
kidding?
War. That was a very, very prestigious position, as well as like the ones that carried the flags. Very prestigious position.
And he's a drummer. He's a little drummer boy.
Yeah, little drummer boy.
So I was on the Instagram. Check this out. This is from Privy Digger on Instagram.
Oof.
Look at all these tokens. It's a Cooper Canning Company tokens. Tons of them. Let me see. Heard rumors that someone in the hamlet next to mine had found a canning token while gardening, and went next door, knocked in this early 1900s shingled colonial and asked if I could detect the yard. Quickly granted permission with 2 key bits confirmed. Tokens were found many years in the yard, and Thomas Cooper did live in this very house. And my detector confirmed that this was an active canning site for Cooper, and almost 50 canning tokens recovered and loads of canning jar lids. Look at that, man. Isn't that cool? I love finding tokens. Incredible. I've said on the show before, I love tokens.
Yeah.
Just absolutely love it.
Me too.
And to find so many like that and to be able to tie the story together is really cool for sure.
So cool.
Yeah. I was looking around also. I got, you know who I love on Instagram and also YouTube is really good too is, let me show you this here real quick. Does a great job. We've had it on a show before. This is Unearth Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are not familiar with him, you got to go find him on Instagram, find him on Facebook, find him on YouTube. Here's what I like about him. And also there's a couple others out there that do this too. They take really cool pictures of their finds, right? Kind of put some thought into it, kind of put them together. So you found this little hot spot of Civil War relics. Yes, you did. Yeah, you did. I mean, look at that, man. That'd be a home run of a hunt right there.
Yeah.
But it just shows, you know, he found a square nail there. He found sort of the top of some cream. You know what I mean? He puts it all in the picture, and yeah, makes it look good and stuff.
And shares it.
Yeah, shares it. I love pictures like that.
Yeah.
Here's one I wanted to show you. This comes from a little while ago, 11 weeks ago, actually. Some of you may have seen this. So Tony and I have hunted over in England, and I know a lot of people here in the States are like, you know, we don't really care about England finds and stuff, but I think this transcends the distance here. Let me find it. Check this out. Can you imagine pulling back the dirt and seeing something like this, especially if you're in England, pulling something like this up? Look at that thing. Look how intricate and hand carved and designed that is. That's a medieval sword pommel.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Dave the Toe. Dave the Toe is the guy that found it. He's a guy named Dave Cunliffe over there in England. It's just amazing artifact, man. It just absolutely crazy. He wouldn't be surprised if they'd be viewing it in British Museum one day. And I absolutely agree. That is just an incredible piece. So if you're in England and you're sort of, you know, digging that coming up, you just know it's something special. You're like, oh, is it Viking? Is it, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like it just would be blowing your mind. Look how intricate that thing is, man.
That's incredible.
It is so cool.
He needs to put it on his gear shifter.
There you go.
Right there. Take that off and put that pommel on there.
That's it. Sussex Searcher, thanks for putting that out and sharing Dave's find with us. That's awesome. There's all kinds of cool. Check out this ring. Okay. Yep. Just showing you some cool things I come across. This comes from Midweek Searchers. How about that for a ring?
Oh, yes. I saw this.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, what is the age on that? 17?
It's got to be 1700s at least. It looks very 1700s for me, like I'm an expert. Yeah, it sure does, yeah. But here's what I liked about it. If you look at his hashtags in there, it's got hashtag Manticore, hashtag Deus.
Oh, what?
So what do you think he found that with?
Well, which one's listed first?
No, he had to get that out of the way because it took more letters to type that. He was exhausted by then. So he had to type in the dais just 4 letters. But look at that hatching, that hand hatching.
Unbelievable.
It's this big bulky gold ring with this kind of stone in it. I don't know what the stone is. It looks maybe like ruby or garnet or something, but it's an amazing ring. When I saw that, I was like, wow.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, not only gold, right? I mean, you know, a gold ring is an incredible find that we all wish we could, but something with age that's gold, even more incredible.
It looks like it has a name on the top too, because that looks like a letter, like an N or something right there. Where I'm pointing to. I don't know if you can see it, but I bet it's inscribed. I'd love to see the rest of the story on this thing.
I would as well. Yeah.
So cool, man. People are finding some cool things. What are you guys finding out there in the chat? Let us know what you guys are coming across. And here's another one that takes great pictures. Matter of fact, he put out a calendar a while ago, and I have it around here somewhere. If you guys aren't familiar with You're Digging It, Brian over there, you definitely need to go check out You're Digging It. Check this out, man. Like, isn't that just a pretty picture? So this was 11 weeks ago. He just finally got around to sorting through everything and putting together my 2024 wrap-up picks. Was another good year enjoying this incredible hobby. So this was just sort of one picture that he put out, another picture he put out. Those are some cool buttons. Those are some cool tags, dog tags.
Dog tags, yeah, there we go.
Look at that. Bunch of coins, 1 cent, some nickels, pottery. Yeah,
all
look at the
perfectly
buckles.
square cropped, just a great display. And
great display, great pictures he takes.
Yeah.
Like you could just stare into this stuff and be like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You know what I mean? He just does a great job over there. Somebody lost their marbles. Look, he doesn't even ignore the
fishing weights,
fishing weights and all the different stuff. Crosses. Look at that. Just great stuff. So go over and check out You're Digging It Metal Detecting on Instagram. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Facebook. You'll find images just like
beautiful.
This. He just does a great job. Look at those rings.
Yeah.
Signet rings. Beautiful stuff. Great job, Brian.
Whew.
Yeah.
You were asking in the chat here. Dirt Clod, I found a 1912 license plate today. He's pretty happy even though it was not in good condition. Now that's pretty old. 1912. So
yeah.
That's pretty sweet, cool. Patty.
That is pretty old. Well, you had a family member, we were digging on their property. And remember all those license plates? Were they 1920s license plates?
No, they were
1920s, 1930s?
30s. They were 30s.
They're the black and yellow ones, right?
So I forgot about that. This is I mean, we're talking, not 10 license. We're talking hundreds of license plates. Hundreds. So the only thing that we could deduce from it was we feel that he worked somewhere where they were disposing of these plates. He took them back to their homestead, and he was using them either on the roof as like tin roofing or on the sides of the building to weatherproof. And could you have imagined? Let me just say this: could you imagine pulling up on that and seeing the green Colorado license plates over an entire roof, over the whole roof?
Yeah,
that would be just so cool to be able to see. We had found them all on the ground, and they were still connected. I think they were still connected to some wood, maybe. But I mean, you're talking 100. You couldn't, you find one, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, and like, yeah, hey, look over here. There's 70 more over here. It's like, oh, I didn't realize that. So, yeah, that was cool. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. They're just everywhere. Like I'd dig through them on the ground. And
you got real good at identifying them before you dug them.
Yeah. I was trying to find, you guys are talking about license plates. Some people know I sell on eBay. I'm an eBay seller, reseller, flipping things I buy. And I found, I was at an auction one time and I found a pair of license plates, Colorado Centennial plates. Okay. And
so cool.
1976.
It's the 76, yeah.
76.
Those are the cool ones. They're like red, white, and blue, right?
Red,
They've
white,
got
and blue.
yeah. They've got the 76 enlarged, I think.
Yep, the 76 is in the middle,
Yeah.
kind of like in a funky 1970s version of 76. And this one had the number was K, then it has the 76 symbol, 0ELN. Okay, K0ELN. And the plate is a ham operator plate.
Really?
How cool is that? Yeah, it's a ham operator's license plate. And K0ELN was probably ham address.
Right.
And
Oh my gosh.
This is really cool, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah, here, let me see.
That's
your picture.
interesting.
Let me see.
Yeah, I was wondering, did you have a picture of it?
Let's see if I can share it. Yeah, can you see that?
Oh.
Yeah. So let me see. Yeah, see that ham operator right there?
Is that it? Yeah, the corn
tag. See the tag?
Uh-huh.
White tag says Colorado 76 ham operator. Number 000868. So it was the 868th ham operator. But the number K0ELN, I'm thinking is his part of his ham.
Yeah.
Part of his ham moniker. And let me know those people into ham if I'm right on that or what. The ham operator license plate, it's 868, number 868.
Right.
Which I didn't think there are that many ham operators to justify that many license plate in the year of 1976, but maybe there was.
Right.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm into ham, but usually around Easter or Thanksgiving.
I'm definitely a ham operator, man. I can operate that ham. I can operate the heck out of that ham, man, with some mustard on it.
Oh man,
it must be getting late. We're starting to get loopy.
DC Diggins says, Doug, a miraculous metal 1830 Virgin Mary pendant this week.
What?
Hello?
Really?
That's a great dig. That's incredible. Congrats on that. I'd love to be able to see some pictures of that. Let us know where we can maybe see that if you posted it somewhere.
Yeah. What else are people finding out there? I missed the chat. Oh, here's one that came up. Let me answer this. Oh, go ahead. Huh? Good.
I was going to say Yancey.
Yeah.
Yancey M. Several years ago, I found a Captain Midnight decoder coin from a radio show in the 40s or 50s. Those are cool.
Those are very cool.
I'm sure the collecting, in terms of like collectability for that, there's got to be a niche that people just flip their minds out over those kind of things. So,
are you kidding?
But also, just a relic. Yeah, there you go.
Well, Tony, you found when that lady came running out thinking you had found a gold treasure chest, you found a Davy Crockett belt buckle from it
was just little kids Davy Crockett belt buckle.
Yeah.
I think I still have that, to be honest. I mean, it's all packed up right now, but I think it was in my display case just because it looks cool. But yeah, pretty cool.
All right.
Did you see Relic Jedi?
No.
Found a Native American nutting stone this past weekend while looking for projectile points.
What?
What's a nutting stone? I'm not in the ways of the Native Americans, but do you have a clue, Ken?
A nutting stone. I think that is not where they would sort of grind down
Is it a grinding
tool, like grind down nuts like almonds or stuff like that make it into flour, something like that. I think that's a nutting stone.
Okay.
Either that or it's the kind of stone that you hit your buddy across the head with and nut his head. Like you're just ping,
Oh, check out the size of the nut on the back of my head now.
That guy just nutted me on the head. Oh, it could be. Here, I got something for you.
Okay.
Let me find out where it's at. All right. Let me see how I can do this. Okay. Share. All right, Bill Hayes, this is for you.
Uh-oh.
Bill sent me a link, said, here's what I found. Check this out. So this is a spoon handle, some button down here, and I don't know what this piece is. What is this piece? Is that a keyhole cover? No.
Is it a keyhole cover, maybe?
Could be. Okay, we found this thing and check this out. So that's kind of cool, right? But then look, it's got the stamp on it. So you should be able to research that stamp for sure. Good find, Bill. little button there.
I can, that stamp, it was 1812 in England. I remember. Yeah.
Is that King Louis? King Louis. Oh, look, that's got a little stamp on it too, right there. He's got this one.
That's great when you can find those.
Yeah, love finding
Then,
stamp items.
yeah, you go down that rabbit hole, and then you start learning about that particular maker. And sometimes, they only worked within like a 2-year period.
Yeah.
Neat information to find.
Here you go. Relic Jedi's going back into old episodes of Relics Radio. That's how you can tell. They really listen to the show. Relic Jedi. No, DK, were you able to figure out an inn on that big rancher's place to detect? And for those of you just tuning in for that, yeah, there's some large ranchers that have some large properties up north of me that I'm trying to get permission on. And I don't have any real contact. I kind of have their name, but short of me driving up to their mansion and knocking on the door uninvited through the security gates, I don't know. I'm trying to find another avenue in there. And so, no, I have not pursued that very much, really. I haven't had the time to really pursue that much, but it's one of these goals and one of these, projects that I'm putting myself on. Always trying to, matter of fact, when we go back to the farm that we did hunt this weekend, I'm going to ask her, hey, do you know
so-and-so? Absolutely.
These ranchers? Because they're everywhere. They're like the big ranching company.
She would know Colorado. I bet she knows them.
She probably might know them, especially because she was talking about this kind of Wagyu beef kind of conglomerate that she belongs to, this collective, to where if they all sell it, they can all pull from the same type of source and stuff. So there's a good chance that she would know them. So that's not that I haven't done anything about it, but that is something that I kind of thought about.
I saw brush popper detecting.
Oh, brush popper.
One on my bucket list I've never pulled. Got a 3 Merry Widows the other day.
Is that your first one? Boy, on my bucket list too.
Congrats.
Definitely on my bucket list. Good job, man. Good job. And now you'll find them all the time.
Hopefully, yeah.
Let's see this here. Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting. We take veterans out panning, mining, and metal detecting. Disabled veterans can come on grounds for a recirculating sleuth experience. Yes, absolutely. It's very great. Who else did we have on there? Terry Shannon. Is he have Detect for Veterans? Detect with Veterans? Yeah.
Terry Shannon. Yep.
Terry Shannon came on and he does something like that as well. It's so important. It's so important to give our veterans opportunities to do stuff like that if that's kind of what they're looking for, if that's what they need. And I wish a lot more people would do that. It takes a lot to kind of put something like that out there and have the own resources yourself that you can help others. So I commend you there. Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting. I think he came to some of our hunts for a while there, didn't he? Or some of our club meetings.
I think, stopped by a meeting or two, if I remember right. Yeah.
Again. Thanks for popping in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. That's what we've been up to. That's that.
Patty's talking about the Oregon Trail that runs through her property, I think.
What? She's on Oregon Trail property?
Yeah.
Hey, so how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, how you doing?
I'll make sure to find you some proof. I'll look for some proof. I'll even donate some time to find you that
Oregon
proof.
Trail. We become immediate best friends.
Brush Popper did confirm it was his first one. So congrats to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome, man.
Really, really cool. It's just an interesting piece of history. And it seems like if you know history or in detecting that kind of thing, you say 3 Merry Widows, they know exactly what it is, but it would pass over everybody else's head because they just would not have a clue what it is. So that's why I like that. It's a pretty neat little show.
Yeah, we're talking about that with the farmer lady this weekend. We were talking to her about some of the stuff you can find. And I was like, they even find brothel tokens. And she was just like, oh my gosh, that would be the most amazing thing to find. And I'm like, isn't it? Like, yeah, that just really would be just so amazing to find,
Yeah.
sometimes, it's history, like even pieces of history that it's always tough, right? Because like you can't ignore our history. Our history is our history. So even finding something like slave tags, right?
Right.
You get people on two sides of the fence on that. Well, detectorists would be like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, wow, incredible piece of our history."
Right.
And others that aren't, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, why would you want that?" You know what I mean? But still, for us in our group and for everyone listening here, it would just be an amazing. As a matter of fact, we need to have. There's a gal over there that we need to have on from the East Coast. She's come across quite a few of them, and I definitely want to reach out to her and see if we can get her on the show. That'd be great. But yep, that's what we're doing. That's what we got out and did. It was a fun weekend, and that's it.
Yep, lots of stuff coming up too. Lots of stuff in the pipeline.
Rush to the Rockies, more details, more.
We have been kind of out doing some networking. We have met some people at some different events that we wouldn't normally have gone to, and done some networking, and you reaching on Facebook, and I think we're starting to try to expand and make things work a little bit better for us. Work smarter, not harder. So a lot of good stuff coming up. A lot of great opportunities that we just not fell in our laps, but not through the normal networking.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of those when you have them. What I mean? But
yeah,
listen, if you guys get out, man, I hope you guys have a good time. Like, go, do your own research, get out there on those properties, ask for those permissions, and you'll be knocking it out of the park soon, I'm sure. Tony and I always love it when you share stuff with us and let us know. Like Bill just sent me that link. I love that, Bill. Thank you. That we could go check it out, because we look at that stuff, as often as we can. Across our feed, we carry our phones with us a lot, so we can look at posts and Instagram and stuff. We try to like stay on top of kind of that stuff, just because we like seeing it. We like seeing the excitement out of other people, other detectorists, and what they're finding. But so keep digging it out there, man. And if you're liking the show, if you're liking Relics Radio, if you're a longtime listener, make sure you tell people about it. We're always trying to get new listeners in, and let them know where they can find the show. Or almost coming up on 9 years in November. It'll be the 9th year starting in November.
Insane.
There's just a lot of shows. You can go back and listen to a lot of shows. I encourage you to do that. You just go through and search through all the shows and see if, oh man, I didn't know they interviewed that guy or those people.
We have to do that sometimes too, because you forget.
Yeah, right. I'm like, oh my God, did we? Yeah. Hey, we should have them. So did we interview them yet? Oh, we did 4 times already. Oh, okay. Let's do the 5th,
Absolutely.
Joe said a grinding stone is for grinding seeds. They're different than a nutting stone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw Tim had mentioned what it was up. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah. I know we're trying to get on out of here, but nutting stones have a small indentation to hold nuts, so you can crack them open without rolling all over the place and smashing your fingers.
Oh, gotcha.
They were pretty smart back then.
Yeah, they were. They were
hard to smash in my fingers with this rock here.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think you fall into that trap, right? When you think of native or ancient cultures, you think somehow they aren't as evolved as we are today. But man, they had it all go. It was just as, if not more than what we got going on, for sure. They had it all figured out. It was a way of life. I think they were more connected to their life and their surroundings. But they had it all figured out. Awesome. But let's get out of here, man. Thanks for joining me tonight, Tony, and chatting about our weekend and what's going on with us, and what else you got going on.
You can find me over at 5280 Adventures over on Facebook, Instagram. Pretty funny, huh? I got a new toy. I'm playing around with it.
At the gumball machine. You can find him at the gumball machine.
Follow me over at 5280 Adventures over on YouTube. And let me know what you guys like, what you don't like. Give me some conversation. I love talking with you guys. So I will see you next week.
That whiskey is affecting your voice, dude. I think you're drinking too much of it. But I don't have a little fancy toy machine. So that's hilarious. Listen, everyone, thanks for joining us another Wednesday night here on Relics Radio. We always appreciate you guys in the chat. We appreciate all you guys that are sending me a message on the audio replay. Thank you so much for hanging in with us over there too. I know it's been a big change since we've come over here on video. I really wish Spreaker hadn't have canceled that ability. So we'll continue to try to upload the audio shows for you as soon as we can after every show. If you got any questions on that, just email me at dk@adventuresindirt. But tell you what, go out this weekend, have a great time. Go find the good stuff, that old history. Make sure you tell me about it. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you next Wednesday for treasure hunting.
Thank you so much for listening to Relics Radio. We will see you back here next week for another exciting guest. Until then, get out and dig it all.